Howdy y'all, we got the Bulldog on the channel. Another lesson in engineering stupidity where something is made just needlessly complex, needlessly expensive, needlessly difficult. What we've got is, it's this church van. It's a mid-2000s Ford Econoline. Millions of them on the road. The older ones, they had issue in where they placed the vacuum reservoir for the AC heater modes and everything. We never noticed it because we didn't run it when we were testing the AC out after I put the AC line on. You know, all the blew cold, all that was great, good to go, except for the fact that if you step on the throttle, the air ducts dump and it just pumps out the defrost. That's a vacuum leak. So we start tracking down a vacuum leak. Well, we trace the vacuum hose over here. Goes across the top of the heater box, hooks onto there, and then it went down into nowhere over here. Where it came out inside, now you need a light. Light's always too bright or not bright enough. It comes out in that corner up there. Here is the hose that hooks onto it, goes through that hole right there. Hopefully you can see it without the light glaring. Now, where it is in between is a mystery. We did finally find it. Where it goes, it wraps around this heater box on the outside, goes down underneath, back over here, and there is a vacuum reservoir bolted to the bottom side of this box, clear back there at the firewall. So 10-12 inches back. You can't even touch it. It's so far back in there. So how do you get to it? Well, the way you get to that heater box, no matter what is wrong, is you drain the coolant. You remove the heater core box from the inside, the entire heater assembly from the inside of the van. That allows you to get to the nuts that hold on the AC box. You down the AC, you recover it, and remove the evaporator core, and then you remove the entire assembly out here. You take it out, you turn it over on a workbench, and then it's easy to get to. Just easy, simple, no problem at all. What was wrong with this? This hose was dry rotted and it fell off. That's the only problem with the van. Don't think there's anything wrong with the vacuum reservoir down there, except for the fact that you can't get to it. On the old ones, you went in underneath here, and there was a hole right there, you'd get to it. But this one's complete solid steel the whole way. There's a hole clear up here. We could look at it with a borescope, but we could not. You can't reach it with anything. So, rather than spend hundreds of dollars of labor and a bunch of unnecessary work, what we did was we bought a generic vacuum reservoir. Unfortunately, it's much larger. And I mounted it, the only place I had room, which was over here underneath the water tank. there's the hose. Feed the hose up and across. It's right here. We'll tee into the existing line, hook it up to the truck, feed a hose inside, fixed. For probably 20% of the money that the labor alone would be to take all that out. Because you're talking just a few dollars for that vacuum reservoir in there. About an hour, hour and a half worth of time, and some vacuum hose. Needless. Absolutely needless. They used to put them reservoirs, they used to mount them up here on the hood because they didn't have much room, so they mounted them on the hood, and then they had a place down here where it had just enough room for it to fit whenever you shut the hood. We used to keep those reservoirs. We were having to use them more and more. We used to keep them off of old cars, and we got to where we use them all up doing stuff like this. They make them all different shapes and sizes. The last one I used is I had a square body Chevy that had been set on a Cummins frame. Hopefully I'll get that video done sometime. And I did some customization to it, and I put in a vacuum reservoir to run the heater modes because it didn't even have one. It had been removed whenever they did some modifications to it. It's just, I really don't like having to modify things because people are so stupid when it comes to engineering. Yeah, I know you've got other things to worry about, but that doesn't concern me. What concerns me is getting it right for the customer. Making it difficult. Making it expensive. Needlessly. What do you guys think about it? Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.